What's good with you guys, man? Today I am going to be rating and improving you guys' teams again. In this video, I'm going to go through and rate and improve all the teams that went ahead and submitted it onto my Twitter post. If you want to be featured in the next video, go over to my Twitter at GrimFateYT. As you can see, it's right here. And go to my pinned tweet, where I will be asking you guys to go ahead and drop your teams, and I will go ahead and rate and improve you guys' teams for the next video, which will be coming out in a couple days. So again, go to my Twitter, GrimFateYT, if you want to be featured in the next video. But let's get into this one. Let's see who is in this one. So first of all, we have Kaden smotherson right here. He says he has 50k MT. He doesn't know what to change. Let's take a look at this squad. So he's got Book, DeRozan, Bob. All right, so first things first, Bob Pettit needs to go. I have him as well. I played limited last season to get him, but he really is not good. At the worst, you should have him off your bench. He definitely should not be starting. I think Jokic is really underrated at the power forward. Gilmore's a good center. DeRozan's a good shooting guard. Booker's a solid point guard. And all in all, I would just say the main thing you need to change is to get a new small forward. Think about getting an Andrea Karolinko. Think about getting a Lauri Markkanen if you want somebody cheaper at that small forward spot. Off the bench, again, Livingston looks good. Olajuwon, Sabonis looks good. Anunoby pretty good. And Blake isn't bad himself. So really the main thing I would say is improve that starting small forward. But let's move on to the next team, which is Leah. He says he has 63k MT. He's trying to change his center. He has Luka, great point guard. Vince is a good shooting guard. Tim Thomas, phenomenal small forward. Porzingis, phenomenal power forward. And yes, you definitely do need a new center. And to be honest with you, it looks like you have 63k. This was posted 2 days ago. If you're at 90k by now, I would pick up Ralph Sampson for your center and bring Pau Gasol off the bench. Ralph Sampson is about 80 to 90,000 MT. He's a 7'4 center that can shoot the ball with a decent jump shot, and he's fast. So definitely consider picking him up for your center, and you can bring Pau off the bench. In terms of your bench, I'm not going to lie, your bench definitely does need a lot of work. You do need to focus on getting a couple players in off that bench to go ahead and improve this team. And in the starting lineup, I would just say get Ralph. But let's move on to the next team. The next team is going to be by Tay. He says he only has 8k. He's going to snipe and grow. This was 2 days ago. So, Tay, if you're watching this, let me know how much MT you have now so I can help you out even more. But right off the bat, Hedo at the point guard, beautiful. Turk at the point guard is the best budget point guard in the game, no doubt about it. And he can literally compete with anyone at point because he's 6'10", can defend, can shoot, quick jumper, 95 driving dunk. I mean, it's just a perfect point guard. Jimmy Butler at the 2. Not the biggest fan of that card. Throw Bailey is a solid budget small forward. Jack Sigma and Sabonis at the center. Starting lineup looks like a really solid budget squad for that starting lineup. And then off the bench, it looks like you don't have a point guard because it actually is not going to allow you to play Lloyd or Cooper at the point. So you definitely need to figure out a backup point guard. If you're looking for a guy that can 3-hunt, you can look for a cheap KPJ. He's only going for about 10 to 15k. If you're looking for somebody that can rim run, I would definitely consider Sengun, who's only about 15,000 MT, 6'10 with a 95 driving dunk. And all in all, yeah, this is a solid budget squad. You definitely need to get your MT up and pick up some improvements. But all in all, for a budget team, this is looking solid. The next team right here, it's Ike. He says he has 100,000 MT. And he has Hedo at the point. Again, perfect point guard in my opinion. Ilgauskas, great height, great defense. Bailey's a solid small forward that's budget. Mo Bamba at the power forward. And Ralph Sampson at the center. To be honest with you, I personally am not the biggest fan of starting Mo Bamba, but some people really do like him. So if you really do like him, you can definitely keep him. But if you're like on the fence about it, I would definitely try to change him out for somebody else at that power forward spot. Somebody maybe, I don't know. I like Jokic at the power forward, but obviously Mo does have the height and defense over that card. If you like that card, you like it. Lance Stevenson, that definitely does need improvement, though, no doubt about it. That Lance card is just not going to be able to compete with some of the other higher level cards in this game. So off that bench, I would definitely get rid of him and consider getting, again, Sengun. Alperen Sengun would be a great cheap option off the bench. That only costs you about 15k. Earl Lloyd is good. Tom Chambers is solid. Sigma is great. And Sabonis is great. So again, I would just say backup point guard, and just let me know if you really like that power forward or if you want to switch him out. I can go ahead and look into somebody you can pick up. Next up is going to be ISO God. What is good with you, ISO God? I appreciate you saying keep grinding, bro. And let's take a look at your squad. You have 46k. Luka at the point, great. T-Mac at the shooting guard, great. Isaac at the small forward, Dirk, Pau Gasol. Starting lineup is looking great. The only thing I would say is if you are playing a mode like Unlimited, you're going to run into a lot of tall centers like Ralph Sampson, Yao Ming. You're going to be running into some tacos at power forward. So I don't know if Pau Gasol is the best option at center because I think he's only 7 foot, maybe even 6'11". So again, I would say look to try to get somebody like Ralph Sampson for 90K. If you don't have enough MT for him, I would consider Arvydas Sabonis, who's an opal for only like 10K. You can consider picking him up because really at that center spot, you just need someone that can really pick and roll, pick and pop, and just is very tall. That's all you need at the center. Turk off the bench, phenomenal. Glenn Rice, I love that card. Steven Jackson, that's really good. Sean Kemp, great. Jokic, great. Bench is looking great. The only thing I would say is Jokic should be your backup power forward. Kemp can be your backup small forward. Maybe you get rid of Steven Jackson and you get a tall center off the bench, or you just send Powell to the bench after you pick up one of the other guys I said. But let's move into the next team by Dalton Buck. He says he has about 150 to 200K. I appreciate you saying love the vids. Let's see what you got for a squad. Luka at the point, great. MJ at the 2 is definitely interesting. I don't think MJ plays the best at the 2, but if you are able to play good defense with him there, then he's fine. Like, if you're not having any problems with people, like, rim running on you because you have an undersized shooting guard, then definitely you can keep MJ there. But if he is a defensive liability, send him to the bench. Bobo, obviously one of the best cards in the game. You got Marcus Gasol, is a great budget power forward. You got Ralph Sampson, great center. Hedo off the bench, amazing. Vince Carter, great. Thorough, great. KD, some people like him, some people don't. He's definitely not a bad option off the bench. And then you've got Arvydas Sabonis. The only thing I would say about your team is I would definitely consider moving in Jalen Ramsey to your starting point guard. He's very comp at that height of 5'8", and he's absolutely a great option at the point. So definitely consider putting Jalen Ramsey at your point. Anyways, let's move to the next team, boys. We got a couple more teams, I think. We got Trollin Conan. He says he has 100K. He doesn't know what to improve. This was 2 days ago. Let's see what you got here. Ben Simmons, great point guard. All right, I can already see where you need to improve. The rest of your starting lineup looks great except for Derek White. Derek White definitely should not be your starting shooting guard or even your backup shooting guard, to be honest. Just not a great card, doesn't have great animations at all. So I would definitely consider going ahead and picking up another shooting guard. If you weren't able to pick up Steve Smith last season, you can look at some other options. Karolinko for about 85K. You have 100K, so Karolinko you have enough MT for, and that's a great option at the shooting guard, I would say, for you to go ahead and get. Your bench looks great, though. I'm looking at it right now. Every option off that bench looks really good. Again, I just don't know. Maybe you really like Derek White or something, but he definitely shouldn't be there. Let's move to the next team. It's going to be Jacobo Amaya. He says, only 3K, but I'm a snipe. All right, I mean, your team is set, buddy. I think you got the best team of the video, man. You got Hero Yoke at the point guard. You got Tim Thomas at the shooting guard. Bol, Shaq, Manute Bol. You obviously locked in for Manute, so you have all the hero cards. You have Chet. You have Terry. You have Ben. You have Taco, you have Yao, you have Magic. Bro, all right, yeah, your team is absolutely stacked. There's no improvements to be made to this team. You literally have one of the best teams in the entire game. And yeah, you definitely take the trophy for the best team of the video, no doubt about it. Nobody wants to smoke with that boy Jacobo. Let's move into the next video, or the next team. It's going to be Nick. He says he has about 100K. Swap backup point guard and shooting guard with starters. Definitely swap Hedo with Cade at the point guard. Ilgauskas can definitely stay at the 2, though, if you really like his defense. But if you're looking for more scoring, you would need somebody else completely. I think Paul George is good off the bench, but as a starter, it's a little bit questionable. Laurie at the 3 is really good. Sabonis at the 4 is really good. 7-1 at the power forward. And then you have Ralph at the big, very, very good as well. And then again, you're going to be having Cade off the bench, good option. PG's a solid option off the bench. Giannis can be cheesy. Even though he doesn't have the greatest animations, it's still Giannis. He's just always going to be cheesy. And then Wilt and Sabonis. You have a very good team. To be honest with you, the only thing I would say is to maybe pick up a scoring shooting guard unless you really like the defense of Ilgauskas. Other than that, I mean, this team looks basically perfect. If you know how to play with this team, it looks really good. You have great height all around, great defense, and if you're able to score with this squad, definitely stick with it. But if you do need some more scoring, I would look to get a scoring shooting guard like a Karolinko. And then let's see what this is. Wolford says he has 113K. Please help. I don't know why you sent a moving image, but KPJ should not be your starter at this point in the year. Aaron Gordon, I'm not going to lie, you need to learn how to use your MT. First of all, Hedo should be your starting point guard. Kuzma should be starting over Aaron Gordon. Those are the first two things I'll say. Then I would consider picking up somebody like Arvydas Sabonis at the center. Then at the power forward, I would put your current Boogie. Then at the shooting guard, you can keep Joe Johnson at the shooting guard, I guess. And then pick up a couple guys off your bench. If you want to go all in, I would definitely consider a guy like a Ralph. A guy like Lauri Markkanen's not that expensive. You can pick him up for the small forward. So you got some improvements to make, but I think you can definitely make that team good. And then we have a few more teams still, actually. Finding Nemo right here. He has MJ at the point, Earl Lloyd at the 2, Laurie, Vooch, and then Murison at the center. You only have a couple thousand MT, but if you have more MT than that, again, I would definitely consider changing that center. He's just way too slow. 2, again, one of the options I said of either Arvydas Sabonis or Ralph Sampson. Vooch at the power forward is good. Laurie's good. The rest of the starting lineup is good. Then you have David Thompson off the bench. Okay. Kukoc, Boogie, Steven Jackson, and Shaq. I would definitely consider picking up some improvements to that 3, 4, and 5 spot off the bench, or the 4 and 5 mostly. Other than that, you are looking pretty solid, man. 77,000 MT for Abhat family. He's got Josh Giddey, Sean Elliott, Carmelo. You definitely have a budget team here. You need improvements all around. You can't be having an Amethyst off your bench. If I were you, the advice I would give you is just stack up as much MT as you can. Watch my MT method videos. Watch my sniping filter videos. Stack up a couple 100,000 MT and pick up some of the guys I was talking about. You definitely need a new point guard. Think about getting a Hedo Turkoglu at point guard, only about 10K. Shooting guard, okay, you can keep Sean Elliott. You can keep Carmelo, sure. And then at the power forward and center, definitely try to get somebody. If you just want to only spend a few K, you can pick up an Arvydas at the center and just make all improvements on the bench. Then the last team here is going to be by Sauce. He has 450K. He has Nikola Jokic, JR, Bobo, Shaq, and Yao. Only thing I would say is get rid of that JR. I would even switch that JR with Vince Carter, and then I think you'd actually be perfectly fine. I think Vince is just the better option at the 2. Zion off the bench with Draymond. Definitely get a better backup point guard. I think you can just pick up Hedo Turkoglu for 10K. You don't even need to spend 450K. Get Hedo off the bench as your backup bench point guard, and the rest of the squad is looking phenomenal. Anyways, guys, again, if you want to be featured in the next video, make sure to go over to my Twitter at GrimFateYT and go to my pinned tweet and reply with a picture of your team and how much MT you have. And yeah, if you made it into this video, if you're one of the teams, make sure you do go ahead and leave a comment and tell me which team you guys were. And yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy, and leave a like and sub up. Peace out, boys.